Buddy McGirt, Adrian Broner's problems are being documented by himself as he rants about his girlfriend and dramas in his life on Twitter, and he ponders his next rap song that he's going to walk down to the ring to. What would you tell him if you trained him? If you had his
I don't know nothing about that, but can you enlighten me on it?
He's been on Twitter and talking about the dramas going on in his life.
I don't go on Twitter. I don't go none of that stuff, man.
But what if you trained him and you heard he was doing these things? What would you do about that if your fighter was?
I mean, if that's what floats his boat, as long as it doesn't interfere with his training, I got no problem with it.
And if you had trained Vicente Escobedo, what would you tell him he should do in this fight? Would you tell him to pull out, or would you tell him to just?
No, I mean, listen. What do you got to lose?
I agree.
You got everything to gain, nothing to lose, so you got to go forward. I mean, it's unfortunate that Broner didn't make the weight for whatever reason. The bottom line is, you're fighting the champion. You don't turn that down.
I mean, he came in 3.5 pounds over the limit. Do you see that as being unprofessional more than?
No, you know what I think the problem is, man, today in boxing?
What's that?
I think these goddamn physical conditioning guys is hurting boxing more than anything.
I hear that a lot. Heard that a lot, buddy. And what do you think that might happen with the networks and stuff? Do you think that they might come down hard on them or the promoter?
I'm not going to blame networks or the promoters because their job is to make the fight, and the fighter's job is do what he has to do. And I think these conditioning guys today, they make these guys drink all these fucking protein shakes. All that shit does is add muscle.
Yeah.
Muscle's heavier than fat. You don't got to be hooked on phonics to figure that shit out.
So what would you do to punish Broner if you were in charge? Anything at all, or?
I wouldn't do anything to punish him. Because what happens is today a lot of these fighters have faith in their conditioning coaches.
Yep.
But if the fighters today were smart, they would go back and look back in the, say, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. But these conditioning guys wasn't around.
Yeah.
When have you ever heard a fighter coming in overweight?
Not too much. Didn't happen as much as it does today.
And guess what? Back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the weigh-in was the day of the fight.
Yep. What do you think of that? You think they should go back to that?
They should go back to that and back to 15-round fights.
Actually, last time they tried to do that, Joey Gamache got injured by Arturo Gatti in a big-time fight.
I can't speak on that because I really don't know what happened in that. You know what I mean? So I can't speak on something I don't know nothing about. But I think they should go back to that and back to 15-round fights.
Yeah. Everyone who fought him says the same thing. That's where the championship is decided. And
exactly.
How do you think what Broner would do? I'm sure he's gonna go to 135 next, maybe even bypass and go to 140. How do you think he'll do it with people like Danny Garcia and Matisse?
I've never seen Broner fight, so I can't really elaborate on it.
Oh no, I'm surprised by that, buddy.
You know what, man? In all honesty, I don't watch boxing like I used to no more, man, because it's just not the same, man. They coming in now, and everyone has these conditioning guys, and you don't have the best fighting the best no more.
No, you don't.
Interesting, man. I just think that
we don't have any more Buddy McGirts around. That's what we need.
You need more guys that are willing to fight.
Nah.
This is my question to you, and you can put this out to the boxing world. When was the last time you saw a champion have a non-title fight?
James Toney, probably. Way back. Yeah, that's sad.
When I was champion, I had 2 non-title fights between 91 and 93.
Yep. I remember. I was a fan, buddy. I remember you. They don't make them like you anymore.
No, they don't make them like that no more, man. And when you look back in history, when you had the greats, the Alis, the Joe Louis, the Ray Robinsons of the world, these guys have no conditioning guys. These guys, Roberto Duran, they trained hard, they ate right.
Yeah.
And they followed the protocol of the old school boxing, and they were successful champions. And believe it or not, they were champions longer than guys are today.
Yep. Yeah.
The only champions that kept their championship going is Mayweather.
Yep. That's true.
Any other champ, they lose it, they win it back, they lose it, they win it back.
Yep.
So I think that if they just went back to the old school of training, I don't knock nobody's hustle. I don't knock a hustle. The conditioning guy can make money doing this thing, God bless him. I don't knock nobody's hustle. But at the end of the day, the fighter got to understand is that conditioning shit is good for guys that are football players, basketball players.
Yeah.
You know, the average boxers are in a class by themselves.
Old school, Buddy McGirt. Appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. And that's one of my favorite fighters of all time. One of the great trainers in the game. One of the great minds in the game. Buddy McGirt, Sr. Need more Buddy McGirts. And as usual, I want to thank Buddy for joining me, giving his 2 cents. And follow me on Twitter at Chris2Guns. Thank you.